In a land where stories are treasures, and every tale holds the power to teach, heal, and inspire. You have just stepped into a world of wonder. Welcome to Tales by GB. Here, the fires of the ancestors still burn, and every whisper of the wind carries the voice of a story yet untold. So, my dear listener, before this tale begins, tap that red subscribe button and become part of our storytelling family. Because with every click, you help keep these folktales alive, and trust me, the next story might just change your life. Now sit back, relax, let the story begin. In the city, ladies believe money is love, and money is everything. But wealthy men struggle to find true wives because there's no trust. Now here is the story of a governor's son who was not supposed to be in an open environment for security reasons, but he disguised himself as a poor roadside food seller. He had a good plan for himself, and his mission was to feel what it's like to be poor and also to find a loyal wife. Jonathan, the governor's son, believed that he would get a faithful wife from the streets. So he told his father, Mr. Simon, that he would be going to the city soon. He had already discussed his plans with his parents, and now he left. Reaching the city, he lodged in an expensive hotel. Then he went to the market to buy poor-looking clothes, local body spray, and provisions. After that, he contacted an agent to look for a small single-room apartment for him. He got the apartment later and furnished it, but he didn't put anything expensive inside. He moved into the apartment and left his car and his main luggage in the luxurious hotel. He also rented a small container shop, just a little space made with sticks and a zinc roof. Only 2 days in the city, he was already complaining to himself that the heat was too much. He wasn't used to it because he grew up enjoying air conditioning in his father's castle. Jonathan wasn't cooking the food he sold. He bought it from hotels and resold it at a cheaper price to the poor. One day, while at his shop, he witnessed something that touched him. A small boy was chased out from school. As the boy walked home, Jonathan closed his shop and followed him quietly to see where he lived. What he saw shocked him. The child's parents lived in a very poor home. No fence, no gate, no strong door, just a wooden entrance. No proper windows. The house looked like an uncompleted building. Jonathan felt pity for the family and realized how badly people on the streets were suffering. He quietly left the area before anyone noticed him. When he got back to his store, he was too disturbed to sell food. He closed for the day and went home to his poor rented apartment. That night, he couldn't sleep. The image of that small boy being chased from school and the terrible state of his house kept replaying in his mind. Jonathan knew it was because of unpaid school fees. He contacted his advisor that night and said, "Please, I need you to send money tomorrow, but use your personal account. Not mine. I'm playing a different person here, and I don't want anyone to suspect I'm rich." The next morning, he went to the boy's house and knocked on the door. The door was so weak it shook as if it would fall off. The mother came out. The boy also came out. They greeted Jonathan. "Good day, sir." "Come inside, please," the woman said. "No, please, no worries. I'm okay standing," Jonathan replied, forcing a smile while struggling with the bad smell coming from the house. He then told her, "I'm part of a charity organization, and I would love to donate money to you." The mother was shocked. "Are you serious?" she said, and she knelt down crying and thanking him. Jonathan quickly said, "Please get up. There's no need to kneel. Besides, it's not my money. I'm also poor, but I work with the charity. I'm just doing my job to make the world a better place." He asked her for her account number. She replied, "I don't have a bank account." Jonathan was shocked. "Sorry, Ma, don't you work?" he asked. "I do," she said. "I work as a farmer. I clear grass on people's farmlands. That's how I survive." "What about the boy's father?" Jonathan asked. Her face changed. "He ran away," she said sadly. "He couldn't feed the family. I haven't seen him for the past 2 years." While she spoke, Jonathan tried to discreetly cover his nose. The woman had bad mouth odor, but he didn't want her to notice. He said, "Okay, I'll come back soon. It's better I withdraw cash and bring it to you." She said, "Okay, let me get you something to eat as my visitor." "No, please, I'm okay," Jonathan replied, and he left. Jonathan felt bad. He never knew people suffered like this. He was used to a life of luxury. He contacted his advisor again and told him to send his visitor 1 million to the nearest POS cashier's account. Jonathan then withdrew the money and returned to the woman's house. He handed her the money, pretending it was from the charity. He also told her, "Madam, I will help you rent a 1-bedroom standard apartment. This place is not suitable for human beings." "Ah, sorry, I don't mean to sound that way. I'm just doing this as a charity worker. It's not my personal money. I don't even have such." The woman replied, "I understand." She then asked, "May I know your name?" Jonathan lied and said, "My name is Matthew Santiago." She said, "Okay, God bless you." Weeks later, Jonathan returned to his hotel room in the same city. He decided to rest there for a while because life on the street was too hard for him. Even the weather was unbearable. Meanwhile, the poor child had returned to a better school and the mother got a better house. Back at the public market where Jonathan was selling food, an argument broke out in his neighbor's shop. Voices were raised, and he heard a woman shout, "You're the thief! You stole my money!" Then a younger woman's voice replied, "No, madam, I'm not the one." The store owner, a woman in her 30s, yelled, "I will arrest you today. You'll go to the police station." They had already torn the young lady's clothes. Jonathan stepped out and tried to calm them down. But the crowd didn't listen to him. He tried to understand what happened, but no one gave him a chance to speak. The lady was arrested and taken away. Later that day, after he finished selling, Jonathan asked one of his neighbors about which police station they took her to. Around 6 p.m., he entered a shuttle to the station. But when he got there, the police refused to let him in. He lied and said he was the girl's friend, but they told him he came too late and should return the next morning by 10 a.m. Jonathan had no choice but to leave quietly. No one knew he was the governor's son. The next morning, Jonathan arrived on time. The officer at the gate asked, "Who do you want to see? What's her name?" Jonathan froze. He had forgotten her name. He pretended to have a bad cough and asked to use the restroom. While inside, he quickly called his neighbor, the one who had arrested the girl. She told him her name was Rehan. He ended the call and whispered to himself, "Wow, she has a beautiful name." He came out and said, "Please, I want to speak with Rehan." He was allowed to meet her. The first time he saw her, he was surprised. "She's beautiful," he thought, "but I've seen too many beautiful girls." He asked her to explain what happened. She told him everything. Jonathan believed she was innocent. He asked, "How much did they say you stole?" She said, "It's huge, sir." "But I swear I'm innocent. I'm the only child of my parents." "How much exactly?" he asked. "So 1,200, sir." Jonathan was shocked. He whispered to himself, "Sells 200 is huge, and yet her skin is glowing like this?" He didn't act surprised. He said, "Okay, I'll replace the money. I'll speak to the police so they can release you." She was overjoyed. The way she thanked him touched Jonathan deeply. He was ashamed because what he did was so small, but he still had to act like he was poor. After leaving the station, he returned to his shop and spoke to his neighbor, the woman who accused Rehan. He gave her the 1,200. The next day, Rehan was released. That evening, she was restless because she hadn't properly thanked Jonathan. She didn't even know his name. All she remembered was that he was the neighbor of the woman who had accused her. That night, Rehan couldn't sleep. She kept thinking of Jonathan and wondered if good men like him still existed. In that area, 200 was a big amount. Meanwhile, that same night, Jonathan was at his local house when his phone rang. It was his mother. "Hello, son." "Good evening, Mom." "How are you? There will be a family conference this coming Monday. You're expected to be there." "Mom, it's not that important. I'm still searching for the girl that will be my wife." "Okay, stay safe, son." "How is Dad? I hope he's not missing me already?" His mom smiled. "Not really, but he's already thinking about the beautiful woman you'll bring home." Jonathan smiled. "All right, Mummy. Good night." "Good night, son." The next day at the shop, Jonathan didn't make much sales. He saw people moving from shop to shop, begging for food. He called them and gave them free food. Jonathan had always been a generous young man. While he was outside talking to his neighbors, Rehan passed by, stopped, and turned back. "Yes," she said to herself, "this is the place." At that same moment, Jonathan saw her. Their eyes met. She walked in, sat on a local chair, and thanked him again. Jonathan asked, "How is everything now?" She said, "Fine, sir. Then she asked, "Is there anything I can help you with? Anything at all?" Jonathan said, "No, please, not for now." "Sir," Rehan continued, "please may I know your name?" He replied, "I am Matthew Santiago." Rehan said, "Okay, Matthew, I'll be coming to your store every day to help you sell, just to assist you for free." Jonathan asked, "Why are you doing this?" "Well, I don't have anything doing at home. Maybe I can stay here and assist you. It will keep me busy." Jonathan replied, "Don't you want to work?" "Sir, I mean, Matthew, I've searched for work, but there's nothing, and you sound like you're not from here. Are you new?" Jonathan replied, "Yes." "Why do you ask?" "Because people who live here know that there are no good jobs." Jonathan asked, "So how about your parents?" She became sad for a moment, then said, "They're trying their best, but life hasn't been fair to us." She took a deep breath and continued, "My mom carries heavy loads at the market. She helps people load goods into trucks. That's how she earns money to buy food. And my dad, he lost his eyesight because of cement dust." Jonathan leaned forward, listening carefully. She continued, "My dad used to work at a cement store. He would carry 2 bags of cement on his head every day. They paid him $4,000 if he offloaded half a truck. That was how he fed us. Until one day," her voice broke a little. "One day, one of the bags burst. Cement entered both of his eyes. He screamed for help. They rushed him to the hospital, but the doctor said he needed surgery. We asked for the price, but it was too expensive." She wiped her eyes quietly. "We couldn't afford it, so we brought him back home. That was how my father became blind." Jonathan's heart melted. He didn't expect such a deep story. He looked at her and said softly, "Don't worry. Someone will pay for his treatment one day. Just have faith, okay?" Rehan nodded gently. Jonathan looked her in the eyes. "Since you insist, you can work with me." That weekend, while they were at the shop, Jonathan said to her, "Rehan, I won't be around next week, so you'll be the one to cook and sell. Are you okay with that?" "Yes," Rehan smiled. "I'm super excited." Jonathan brought out a small key and gave it to her. "This is the spare key to my house. I trust you." Rehan held the key carefully, but she asked with concern, "What about my dad? He can't see. I'm the one taking care of him." Jonathan was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Don't worry. I know some charity organizations. I'll contact them. They might be able to help with your father's surgery." That night, when he got home, he called his advisor and said, "Please send $2 million to the hospital. I've already spoken to the doctor. Let them begin the surgery immediately." The next day, Jonathan told Rehan, "The charity organization has approved your father's case. He can go to the hospital now." Rehan couldn't believe it. She ran back home crying, hugged her father, and quickly helped him to the hospital. They signed some forms. The surgery was scheduled. Later that day, Jonathan said to her, "Rehan, since you'll be cooking and selling while I'm away, you need to know where I stay." She smiled. "Okay." That evening, they walked to his apartment together. When they got there, Rehan looked around the small room and said, "Wow, Matthew, your house is beautiful." Jonathan was surprised. "This," he whispered to himself, "just a single room?" He watched her quietly as she entered the kitchen. "Can I use the kitchen?" she asked. "Yes, feel free," Jonathan replied. Rehan started cleaning immediately. She washed all his plates, swept the room, mopped the floor, and arranged everything properly. Jonathan sat on his bed and stared at her. "She's not just beautiful, she's hardworking," he thought. After cleaning, she prepared noodles and fried eggs. They ate together happily. Around 11:30 p.m., Rehan stood up. "Matthew, it's getting late. I need to go home before my mom starts worrying." Jonathan stood up too. "Let me escort you." As they reached her house, Jonathan looked around. He was shocked. The place had no proper doors, just a big cotton cloth covering the entrance, no window nets. The house was weak and almost falling. He didn't say a word. He turned back and left, thinking deeply. The next morning, Sunday, Jonathan dressed up and went to church. After service, he packed his bag and returned to the luxurious city where his parents lived. His mother hugged him. "Welcome home, my son." He changed his clothes and joined his father in the dining room. His father, the governor, asked, "My son, how is your mission? Have you found a wife yet?" Jonathan smiled. "Not yet, but there's this girl. Her name is Rehan." He told his parents everything, how she cleaned his house, helped him cook, and cared for her blind father. His parents smiled. His mom said, "She sounds like a good girl." You'll know with time. Back at Rehan's house, her mother Veronica asked, "Where's your father?" Rehan replied happily, "He's in the hospital receiving treatment." Monday morning, Veronica insisted on going to see her husband in the hospital. Rehan agreed and gave her directions. Rehan then went to Jonathan's house. She cooked, packed the food, and took it to the roadside shop. She opened the shop and started selling. Many people bought from her because she was cheerful and respectful. By afternoon, she had already made a lot of profit, and the 1 week Jonathan planned to be away was just beginning. To find out what happens next, will Jonathan reveal his true identity? Will Rehan still love him when the truth finally comes out? You don't want to miss it. Subscribe now to this channel so you won't miss the complete episode dropping very soon. Your support means a lot, and more powerful stories are on the way. Thanks for watching. To be continued.